Joining us right now, we have a former government minister, Dr. Fuad Kahn. A pleasant good evening to you, Dr. Kahn.
Good evening to you, Mikey, and your listening audience.
It's a pleasure having you on. I mean, we in the midst of all of this that's taking place, this political climate. I'm glad that you took time out to chat with us. Recently, you made it quite clear that the time is correct to start the process to put things in place for the 2025 general election. People in this country are hurting and observing their loss of disposable income and descent into poverty. I think you captured it well. That is the true essence of what is taking place. And if this has registered with you, what do you say to people who say, listen, but Dr. Khan, hey, were you just an observer, just standing on the sidelines? And what has changed now?
What has changed because the country was going quite well until the government of the day, the PNM, utilized the COVID to win the last election, which was in 2020. Then they created some lockdown rules. They created regulation rules. And doing so, I kept telling them they would be destroying the economy. No one listened. You had a prime minister coming every 2 weeks on gallery and balling as of midnight tonight, destroying the whole country. Now we are reaping the effects of that foolish move, and they are still there making the same mistakes, especially with the procurement. So I am saying the time has come for good people to get back into public affairs, because if not, the incompetent people will continue to rule.
Yeah, and of course, you mentioned the domino effect that this entire thing with COVID-19 that wasn't handled properly, where it resulted in an epidemic of home invasions and so much taking place. Now our senior citizens are vulnerable and they're soft targets to the criminals.
People are starving. They're starving because of the effects of what the government did by locking down this economy. They messed up the whole economy. People are now out of jobs. The economy is in tatters, and yet they are jumping up and down with a procurement law and our local government election, which is saying something about reform. How could you reform something that is being destroyed?
Yeah. Of course, you added that you do hope that you can make a difference again, using the party to which you belong to make this difference. You said Uncle Jack and Gary has shown the way. And I want you to expand on that, because tell us, when it was communicated for everyone to return and work together, were you a bit reluctant? Give us an idea of why were you hesitant at that point in time when the invitation was first offered?
Because I've had the benefit of being with Ms. Prasad Bisesa for a very long time, and I've had the benefit of being, as I say, in the internal elections, seeing firsthand how it was manipulated and how things are done. I was firsthand seeing how the hubris took place in the People's Partnership. Firsthand how the senior members of the party in 2020 and before never got a front seat in a meeting, but now I see they are doing that, and I was there. So one would be very hesitant when somebody says, come and join me now. You will hold back. But Jack he went through worse than I have, and he is back, which means to say that there is a reason for him coming back, to make sure that we can put this country on a proper footing within the next 2 years. Well, why not? Why? I mean, I trust Mr. Warner with that type of approach. So if he could do it, well, maybe I can decide if I want to do it also.
Do we expect that perhaps at the next meeting, I think that's carded later on this week, that you may make an appearance?
No, I won't. I don't believe in local government elections. I think it is a foregone conclusion. Sawa Bharat area has 12-2. It will always be 12-2. So, and making an entrance now is not my feeling. I don't feel it right now. I want to see how things go, and then I will decide. You don't know how things go, because after the election, if whatever happens, we have to see the same cohesion of forces and more forces. I would like to see Ms. Prasad Bissessa calling some of the people who could make a difference and indicating to them that she needs their assistance to move forward, rather than waiting on them to come back to her.
But when this invitation is sent out, the terms are quite clear. If you are to return, you roll up your sleeve, get down in the trenches and work. Don't you think that that would be a bit unfair if it was any other way, when you have people who have stayed and dedicated and stuck to the fight, having to be sidelined for someone who just simply walked in after all the work is done?
Nobody says to sideline anybody. Nobody wants to go to the top. Nobody wants to be shut down. So, but the thing about it, you have those terms, but if those are the terms of what you're saying, but you have to have free and fair internal elections. You cannot have a manipulated internal election and have a set of hangers on which you consider loyalists, and people come in and expect people to come in without free and fair elections and then hope to have some sort of position in the party to make a difference. So if you're going to go that way, you're not going to attract the people that you want to attract. Then you will stay with whoever you are.
But let me ask you this, isn't it easier to make that change from within rather than external?
No, you can't. You can't. You have to be assured that internal elections will be free and fair, not the way it has been run for the past couple of times.
There's a part here in today's media release from the ILP which states that, of course, the decision to dissolve the party, and it states, this fight shall be under one banner, under one party, under one leader, for today, for tomorrow, and for our country. What is taking place here, and as far as this alliance, is this not in the best interest of our country?
Well, the ILP is basically a dead party for the longest while, so you can disband a dead party. Jack alone basically, I don't know if he alone is in the ILP, because we haven't heard from them for a very long time. So saying that you can say something like that, because I don't think that Mr. Warner was part of the internal elections and seen it being manipulated firsthand. But if he was, I think he might have been thinking differently. However, yes, it's a good idea. One party, one banner, one person. Kamala is the Mandela of the local politics and those kind of things. If that's the utterances, fine. But I'm saying, from my part, I want to see and be assured of free and fair internal election processes, so I can have a chance at becoming something in the party and developing a course of action. Rolling up your sleeves and going in the trenches is all well and good. But the thing about it, you have to do it with some sort of semblance of moving forward and being able to carry the party upwards into the fight against the PNM.
And give me some clarity on this. Are you saying then that these issues that you're raising, because again, you're saying that the time is correct to start the process to put things in place for the 2025 general election.
Exactly.
Right. So you're saying, hold up a minute, if that is the issue and that's the objective to get things going for 2025, first there needs to be fair and free internal elections in the party. You believe that is part of the criteria that's needed?
And then you will get the best people coming forward into positions, not hangers-on, who are only there because they belong to Kamala's slate. You will, and because there's people who have gotten the largesse of being part of the unfair election process. If you have free and fair election in the United National Congress, you then will get people coming up who will be getting positions by means of the free and fair process, and they can move forward. If you don't have that, then you're spilling up in mud.
Yeah, but Dr. Kahn, in your wisdom, wouldn't it be better again to get on the inside and give this advice, especially to young, upcoming people in the party? Remember, you are also saying that people in this country are hurting and observing their loss of disposable income and descent into poverty, which means that there's a priority to save this country at this time rather than to say, hold up, there seems to be some issues with some personalities that needs to be cleared up in order for us to put the country and the citizens that you are talking about that are hurting as the main priority. Isn't that a bit contradicting?
Not really. You've encapsulated it quite well, and I think you've done a better job than me by encapsulating it like that. Exactly as you said it is exactly what I'm saying.
Well, again, as you say, people are hurting. I mean, you're talking about a middle class that has been wiped out. You're talking
I'm
about...
not just talking about middle class, I'm talking about other people
right.
they're hurting.
They are hurting, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that. They are hurting.
But they are hurting, but if you want to beat the PNM, because the PNM is a well-oiled machine, an electoral juggernaut, you have to have a proper system in place in your party. You can't go with people who are dead only because they are loyal to the leader and the leader put them on a slate. No, you have to have free and fair internal elections to get a strong team to manage the party to make sure that the PNM is defeated.
And let me ask you, are we not seeing such a team when you look at Mr. Gary Griffith, who is quite popular and is a man of his word? When you look at Austin Jack Warner, who understands what it is to deliver and to serve the people, and you look at Kamla Prasad Bissessa, who definitely has assisted the most vulnerable in our society by leaving no student or any family behind. I mean, in the scope of all of that, do we still need to focus on individuals who may not even be relevant in the scope of things?
Well, if they are so strong, let them win it by themselves then.
Well, and I think that's the key. That is the key.
No, what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say, what you've just said, they have all these three people, and they're doing it quite well, and basically the system is very good. The party is strong. Just because two people come together, and they will win it. That is not going to happen. You're going to see in the local government elections something that you'll see. The PNM has not woken up as yet. They're going to wake up in the next 2 weeks, and it's going to have a tit for tat, jump for jack, and you'll see what will happen. If we be able to collect more than seven in the corporations, yes, but that is going to be a tough cookie. And then you will say you need to have a stronger party.
What's your take on Vasan Bharat and his feelings towards all of this?
Vasan needs to, as I say, I know he and Jack are very good friends and they're very close. And I think Jack is going to convince him to enter the fray, come back into the party.
All right. And yourself, you are sticking to your terms and conditions. Am I correct?
Free and fair internal elections, so we could build a stronger party. And that is why I went up for the political leader of the party, so I could build that. Hopefully, that is a dream that I have, where people, like the American system, rather than somebody controlling the party for their own interests, in the American system, the party puts people on stage and you choose by debate who is the best person. All right.
Want to thank you so much for taking time out to link with us. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Kahn. Thank you.